to riff those tracks. I don't have a good tracks, better riffs on this here. Why you always gotta pick RiffTrax? It's your lucky day, it's time for RiffTrax.
Hello, I'm Faith, and welcome to Faith's Take, where I talk about anything and everything that I find interesting. And welcome to episode 51 of a RiffTrax short review, where I take 5 RiffTrax shorts in chronological order, review them, and give them a rating between 1 and 5, with the points being good, great, awesome, fantastic, and spectacular, because I don't think a bad RiffTrax short exists. We've got some awesome contenders today for sure, and in fact, I'll start by saying if you haven't seen all these shorts in full, remedy that as soon as this video is over. They're all great and totally worth your time. So let's get into them with episode 51 of every RiffTrax short reviewed. Number 251, William, From Georgia to Harlem, from September 17th, 2015.
There's a new world coming.
Harlem looks different than I thought.
I don't think this is supposed to be Harlem.
We open this short, unsurprisingly, in Georgia on a farm where we see 2 young boys hard at work. One of these boys, also unsurprisingly, is named William. William's family is about to move, and he and his friend Joey get ready to say goodbye, as Joey gives William a lucky rabbit's foot to remember him by. The family packs up and heads out, driving the nearly 1,000 miles from Georgia to New York City. William, having grown up in the country all his life, is in awe of everything he sees, and I do mean literally everything. They finally arrive in Harlem, where his aunt and now entire family will be living. William meets his older cousin Calvin, who immediately resents him on principle, because why get to know the completely uprooted 8-year-old before deciding you loathe him? This being the 70s, the boys are allowed to roam New York City alone, but again, Calvin wants nothing to do with his supposed hick of a cousin.
Willie, won't go swim after we finish up? After we finish filling the bags, okay? Okay.
I thought that was implied when I said after we finish up, but you had to get all specific. Fine.
It's fun to get a fiery rash from all that corn pollen.
You coming back ever? I don't know. Maybe. You coming back?
They all come crawling back. Broadway's gonna eat you alive.
What's that for? It's just something.
Nothing seals a lifelong friendship better than a severed rodent appendage.
Come on, Joey!
How do you run a 400-acre farm again?
You'll figure it out. Goodbye! Harlem, where little William will soon learn to be a guy from.
Already he finds himself reconsidering his hatred of burnt steaks.
Here's some random footage that we thought we'd throw at you. We don't know who shot it, 'cause we found it in the trash.
Coming in peace, coming from me, New York City.
Wow, suddenly everything's groovy. I feel like getting down.
Oh, please don't get down.
And I may get funky.
Oh, God, no, Kevin, do not get funky.
Too late, here it comes on the one. Huh. Well, there's cops, and there are scooters, and there are babies and out-of-sight TV crews. There's guys selling drugs and big old black cubes, and I seem to have lost the funk, sorry.
What the? All these bags are filled with corn. William!
But it keeps the rain out.
Damn my red-green suitcase blindness.
You say hello to Willie now, you hear?
Unless you're a stuffed tiger, you're dead to Calvin.
Yeah, because 70s Harlem was such a conservative place for fashion.
Hey, Mom, I'm going out, okay?
I ain't hit her. It ain't true. It's straight jive. I ain't hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, DeMarcus.
The cousins walk around New York City, taking in the neighborhood, including all the other local kids, none of whom really take to William either. After frittering the day away throwing a lot of bouncy balls around, the duo nearly run into 3 boys that are clearly the local bullies. They're able to evade the potential danger and run into Calvin's friend Walter, the first character to give Willie the time of day. He actually is interested in William and asks a lot of farming-related questions. Meanwhile, Calvin still cuts William down whenever he gets the chance. Unfortunately, despite the fact that they seem to be in the middle of nowhere, the bullies have found them and start chasing them down. Walter falls, and Calvin is 100% ready to leave his buddy behind. But William, having a soul, can't do that. But as no good deed goes unpunished, the gang grapples William and crushes his lucky rabbit's foot into the dirt. William kicks the leader in the shin and gets socked in the face for his troubles. While William wasn't able to truly save Walter from any harassment, he was able to earn Calvin's respect, who, yes, did just stand by and watch his young cousin and best friend get beaten.
Don't nobody know
Meanwhile, at a New York Jets practice,
that
Country folk are totally unfamiliar with the big city concept of catching. You don't want to play this game, William. 3-card Monty's where the easy money is.
Scouts from the Mets are already prepping a huge signing bonus.
they are currently on one of Harlem's many experienced playgrounds of all people interested in becoming detectives.
Oh man, Mule!
Mule, he's the subject of 90% of Tom Waits' songs.
Mule looks about as tough as one of the kids Grover teaches opposites to.
Hey, Calvin!
How's the Reformation going? Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you were John Calvin.
I don't think that is
I'm Willie. Hi. Where you heading? To the park.
gonna tie you to a tree and throw M&Ms at your head.
All right. Wait, what?
Your daddy a farmer? Yeah, he works some land. They pay him money for that? My daddy say, you take care of the earth, it take care of you.
Right at that moment, he stepped into a sinkhole and was never seen again.
You pick cotton down there? Nobody pick cotton no more. They got machines to do it.
William then launched into a 30-minute dissertation on Eli Whitney.
Drive a tractor? Let's get him. I want counsel.
Yeah, let's talk to them. Really try to understand their point of view.
Right on, let's hear where they're coming from.
Yeah, I'd call it conflict resolution, but it's not even that, because there's no conflict. This is fact-finding only.
Hey, looks like Walter got hurt. That's his tough luck.
But they're eating his flesh.
I don't care.
Calvin, we gotta help him. Forget it, not me, man. I'm not crazy. We just gonna leave him there? He do the same to me and you. I'm not gonna tangle with no mule if I don't have to. I'm cutting.
Calvin's been reading his Nietzsche.
Hey, well, you better come now.
All right, kid, we're gonna put a striped shirt on you, maybe a dumb hat.
No!
Oh.
Kicking? Yeah, why didn't I think of that?
What you doing something like that for? Get yourself all beat up. Walter wouldn't have stayed around to help you. Would you, Walter?
Give in to the fact that all humans are soulless monsters, William.
It's all messed up.
Like 9/10 of the rabbit is just gone.
Hey, let's play some basketball.
And this reminds me, William, if someone's on fire, even if you're holding a hose at the time, don't put them out. They wouldn't put you out.
Sure thing, Calvin.
Willie has some small usefulness on Earth.
There's a brain.
William.
This short honestly has a melancholy atmosphere from start to finish, but our riffers help it seem not so bleak, and it gets a 5 out of 5.
So the lesson here is that black or white, country or city, dorks will always be dorks.
Number 252, The Prom, It's a Pleasure, from September 28th, 2015.
Hi, Mary. This is Dick.
Oh, hi, Dick. How are you?
Fine.
Well, I matched my couch.
Great in the game last Saturday.
Despite the title of this Coca-Cola funded short, we start not at the prom, but at the America's Junior Miss pageant taking place in Mobile, Alabama. We see the young women being paraded on stage before Miss Missouri, my own state's contestant, gets awarded the prize. And suddenly, without warning, Miss Missouri, whose real name is Mary, is giving us all the ins and outs of prom pleasantry, giving her own prom date with Dick as an example. She gives lessons that go from extending and receiving the invitation, to the boy getting permission from his folks to use the car, to all the excitement of picking the perfect gown and telling your friends about it. Dick actually thinks ahead quite well, not wanting to spoil a thing. He even calls Mary's friend to get the dress details to pick out the best corsage, not wanting Mary to know ahead of time. He gets there on time, and even though Mary is already ready, she stays upstairs just a couple of minutes to let her parents size up her date. Not too shabby an idea if you ask me. Gotta do the standard vibe check, you know?
Poise and demeanor, essential elements
in the grooming of all young ladies.
We gave up on all our young men, so we're focusing our efforts here.
Education is the reward. And the 5 finalists receive...
I'm just curious, what is the upper age cutoff for the Junior Miss contest?
We present you with this candy dish.
And I serve you with this subpoena.
And here's the blanket.
It all starts with knowing whether you're going or not, and with whom.
I'm out.
It helps if it's only fair that the girl accept or reject as soon as possible.
I accept.
In most places, it's... Hello?
Yes, I'll go.
Hi, Mary. This is Dick.
The girl thinks ahead, too, with all the excitement and enthusiasm that only a prom can bring.
I think I'll wear a wedding dress to
Dressed as a
prom.
second look at home.
Let me put down my
And
Coca-Cola.
Just perfect.
Has Mary talked to you about the dress she's wearing to the prom?
She sure has, and wait till you see it. It's beautiful.
Hopefully she can squeeze into it.
I have to make sure I have the right corsage.
And then I'm not wearing the same thing.
Then Dick tells it all to the florist.
And it takes hours.
One's good.
The boy avoids disappointments, such as color clashes.
What boy's ever been
Problems
disappointed in a
such as what
color
to do with
clash?
The shoulder corsage when his date.
You're a lovely young lady.
Oh, thanks, Daddy.
Ugh.
Oh,
The boy arrives on time so the girl's dress doesn't go limp while she sits around waiting.
not so for
He
Dick.
takes a few moments of small talk to give her parents a chance to size up the fellow who's taking their daughter
Dun
out.
dun dun dun. Oh, hi, Dick.
And naturally, she shows up before he runs out of conversation.
So it's like 10
Your
seconds.
flowers are just...
And now the dance is finally ready to begin. And how to start off this banger of a once-in-a-lifetime event? By doing some quick clerical work. Apparently, the girls have official dance cards, and anyone that wants to have a dance with them, including their own dates, have to fill them out. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, I was homeschooled and never went to a prom after all, but aren't dances supposed to be, you know, fun and spontaneous? Like you hang out with your date and your friends, and you're open to dancing with whoever you want, whenever you want? This card thing seems pretty weird. But even after all that work, we learned that you can still cut in and dance with whoever you want at any time? In fact, all the directions just seem confusing, even down to who leads who onto the dance floor and who apologizes when there's a bump in the crowd. But the dance eventually comes to an end with an ultra-pleasant and polite after-party where everyone's good-mannered etiquette is once again shown off.
Of course, he takes the first and last dance and also writes in 4 others.
That's weird.
Leaving 1 dance each for Jack, Tom, Lee, and Ed.
Really, Ed?
The
That
program
surprises
is a
me.
way of keeping dances straight, and also gives the couples a chance to dance with each other.
But with D-Day level logistics to coordinate, they never get around to it.
And Tom's ready to claim a program partner.
Hi, Mary Brandon.
Bama, bama. Bama, 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 bama.
Sure is.
Bama.
Can I have the next dance, please?
I'd love to.
Didn't I see you in
Smooth, isn't he? He doesn't embarrass her by asking if this dance is taken, which might imply that she hasn't been asked.
I don't think we need to imply that so much as know it.
Oh, I hate that they used her like that.
Is she just freelancing?
I guess.
Lee knows the cut-in should be considerate also,
Ends.
and not come back later when he's dancing.
Okay, Bridget, I really wasn't paying attention. I'm lost. Why is Lee dancing with June?
I'm not sure. It's like some sort of special teams.
Well, then why did they fill out the dance card if you can just cut in and dance with whoever you
I
want,
know,
whenever
and then
you want?
Jack just picks up the freelancer with no authorization whatsoever. I don't...
Because he should have filled out the paperwork for that.
Yes!
The dance card is a big lie.
Social custom on her side if she
Wow,
wants to
look at
break it
this
up.
guy. He's just doing whatever he wants.
Oh my God, get him out of here! Unauthorized fun! He's ashamed.
That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But even though Linda just might have been at fault, the boy takes the blame.
As it should be. Boo, boo.
And the dance, all through the evening, the dance program has kept track of who's dancing with whom.
Like hell it has.
Oh, it's much more than that. Now it's time to say goodnight to the chaperones.
Who can't wait to get to the real party.
But prom night isn't over. Whether it's a snack on the way home or a more formal buffet,
God, Dick, slow down.
the evening continues in the...
Okay, how are you?
Fine.
Hi there, Robin.
My God, is there no end to their salutations? Goodbye, goodbye, good,
And the
bad.
genuine hospitality.
Hurry back. Bye-bye. Night. Night.
God, I thought they'd never leave.
While I may never have been to one, I'm willing to bet this riff is way more fun than a real prom, and it gets a 5 out of 5.
Sharing the intermission with others, makes the evening more fun for everybody.
There's no way there are any cool seniors still at this thing.
No way. They're so gone.
Number 253, Oh Boy, Babies, from October 9th, 2015.
Oh, I'm so glad you could make it. We've been waiting for you.
Uh-oh, late, Mom. She'll be the last to pick up, too.
And she'll show up with her latte, her Macy's bag, yoga pants, jingling keys, on the phone, acting like you were lucky to watch her kid past the pickup time.
Totally.
This short opens with Bridget informing us that this is an after-school special of sorts, and already you know we're in for a ride. It starts at a boys' private junior high school, where they're informed of their extracurriculars for the semester, including an infant care program where they'll take care of real live babies. Well, at first the class laughs at the idea. We settle in on a few boys who are really considering the class, and another boy named Matt who loathes the idea already. Turns out his mother has remarried and they just had a baby, and he wants nothing to do with his new half-brother, and that goes for all other babies too, I guess. His mom encourages him, but he gives some attitude about it before giving it some thought, and he decides to join the program after all. When the class first starts, 3 little ones are put in the care of the group of tween boys and their teacher Janet, and unlike Matt, the rest of the boys are super gung-ho about childcare. The boys learn how to hold infants and start talking and playing with them, just having a great time, and the babies seem to be liking it too. All except Matt, of course. Luckily, the teacher realizes this, and when one of the babies shows up late, she makes sure Matt starts getting some time in. The baby starts crying, leaving Matt at a loss until the teacher sends Claude in to help. Claude actually wants to learn to be a good dad one day, so Matt hates him too, and even though Claude is pretty dang forgiving, Matt feels lesser than and storms out of the class. Thanks to the chip on his shoulder, Janet pairs him with Claude again at the next session, only for him to be humiliated yet again.
This short was an NBC special treat, which I guess was their version of an after-school special.
Oh, sure. Oh, we're going to get learned something, Bridget.
Photography, computers, backgammon. And this term, for the very first time, we are offering you guys a course in infant care.
Say what? Medicare? You mean babies?
Did he say?
The infants in the infant care class are going to be real live babies.
On stage.
All right, everybody who takes the infant care class and passes it
Gets an extra ration of rum.
a seal of approval.
You're planning on being somebody's mother? No. But I'm planning on being somebody's father someday.
But not for like 9 months.
If I were. What a great idea. I'm not taking it. Could be very helpful. I know.
I can't say I blame you. I was never much interested in babies either. Till I met your mother.
I love changing her diaper.
Oh, you didn't go there. You did go there.
Your brother's crying.
Yeah.
He's not my brother. Your half-brother, then. Aren't you interested? Half interested.
Okay, the kid is a brat. I'm telling you, you know what? As a mother, I have to speak up. He's got the elbows on the table. He's got the smarty pants remarks. He's just smirking around. I don't like it.
Oh. Dear 1970s, what the hell is going on?
Oh, boy, babies!
Hey, we have a title!
Yay!
Hurrah!
Claude and Aramis, you go over with Jill, help her get her outer garments off.
But don't start dissecting until I tell you.
Philip, you...
Hey, this isn't so bad. I like being a test baby. I'm with Ward. What?
Mary Jo, did you like babysitting?
Well, if you mean watching TV at someone's house and eating my way through the fridge while their children were doing something and getting paid for it, yes, I did, Bridget. You?
I thought it was totally boring. And then I was afraid when I had kids I would feel the same way. But then it turns out I loved them.
I'm really glad it worked out, Bridget.
It was still boring sometimes.
What do you think? Got it?
Yeah, your hair is so coarse. It's upsetting me. What conditioner do you use?
The baby try to comfort my hero. Hey, man, when you gonna get off my case?
Oh, I bet Claude makes a better pot roast, too.
Let's change position. Hey, you want it back now?
He wants his baby back, baby,
Oh,
back,
no,
baby.
stop.
He wants his baby
Halt.
back, baby.
Cease.
Excuse me. You're excused. Okay. The point is, if you're taking care of a baby, the first thing you have to be is there.
Mm-hmm.
Hold his leg. Come on. All right.
Ugh. He thinks Claude did that? When? How?
Look.
I'm sorry, it's always funny.
You don't have to come back, not today. In fact, maybe you ought to start thinking about whether you want to come back at all.
You're just not good enough to get peed on.
It's a matter of attitude, Matt.
Despite everything, Matt decides not to give up and returns to the next class to feed the babies. After Claude actually has some trouble, Matt willingly steps in and is actually successful. After the boys feed solids to the older babies, one mom comes in to speak about breastfeeding. And while Bridget and MJ say they're uncomfortable, I actually think we would be a better society as a whole if we did teach young men about this. Media sexualizes breasts to such an extreme that some women feel they can't even feed their babies in public without having to hide, when breasts literally exist solely to be baby feeding machines. And the boys actually seem to understand this because they're being taught and not talked down to or treated like it's taboo. During the next class, where they learn to bathe them, we see Matt and Claude having legit conversations, and Matt loosening up towards Claude and the babies. We learn that just like Matt, Claude's dad left him too, and that's why Claude wants to learn all this, so he could be the strong, hands-on father that his wasn't. Matt can't fully understand how Claude isn't as angry as he is about their situations, and talks to Janet about it. He gradually gets closer to Claude, even going over to his family's house for a jam session. After rocking out for a bit, the two have a good conversation about their parental issues that's really mature and actually well written for 10 to 12-year-olds to see, in my opinion. Just like with the breastfeeding scene, the short doesn't talk down to the kids who will be watching it. It handles things maturely, knowing they can handle it. And Matt begins to truly love his family, stepfather, half-brother, and all.
Open wide.
You know, Mary Jo, this gives me a great idea for a restaurant chain. You just sit there and you get fed.
That is brilliant, Bridget.
Yes.
Open wide. Wide.
I'm gluten intolerant.
There you go. Here comes the train.
What was a NASCAR train?
See, the trick is on the wrist.
Would you just feed me? I'm starving.
The oldest, and a lot of people feel the best way to feed a baby, breastfeeding. Olga said that she...
Woo! All right. Oh, I bet they're happy they took this elective now.
I think breastfeeding is healthier because of the immunities that the breast milk provides for the baby. In other words, she doesn't get sick as often.
Oh, come on. Everybody knows boobs are only for men's enjoyment.
Baby needs.
Is it legal to do this in public?
No, in fact, I'm on the lam from the Hooskow as we speak.
So I try to do a rather...
You guys are the best friends baby ever had.
You messed up your shirt.
Guys loaded.
Hard to figure out, isn't it? Huh? How a father could just go off and miss all of this.
You know, the crying, the getting peed on.
And walk out. That's more than I can figure out.
Let's go watch a sporting event.
You've tried to figure it out? I had to. Your father? Mm-hmm.
He was a jive turkey.
Doesn't it make you? If boys or men have this nurturing thing like you say they do,
Why do I want to shoot
they
stuff?
spend most of their time running off to work or getting divorced. Is that what they do? Most of them? Seems like it.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
Well, a lot of them drink beer and watch cops, too.
Haters
Gonna hate, 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 hate. And the player's gonna play.
I didn't know you could play. A little.
Very little.
Come over to my house sometimes.
Oh, so I guess he meant come over immediately.
Right now.
Hey, Chuck. Nice, man. Beautiful.
That was nice.
Can we lose the white kid?
All right. I guess with all them around, you don't have much time to miss people.
Wow, those cookies are so loud.
You mean my father? What about your father? He live with you? No. Oh. He lives in Los Angeles.
You probably heard of him, the naked
I haven't
trucker.
seen him since I was a baby. You never see your father? He's a real successful businessman. You know, always on the run. Sounds like a real rat to me. He does?
I should get him a habit trail.
So what you got against this guy, Alex? Nothing, I guess. Except he's not your real father. Yeah. Because he's not a rat like your real father.
Oh boy, everybody in the fallout shelter. Truth bombs.
Let's take this stuff out. Jason's pretty lucky to have you around.
Well, that's good, because I'm not planning on going anywhere.
Unlike your real father.
Well, somebody better get going somewhere.
Hey, everybody! I'd like you to meet my brother Jason and my stepfather Alex.
Guess which is which?
Baby. Aramis? You really learned a lot. Last but not least.
What?
Matt.
Were there some
What?
dropouts?
I guess some of the boys got drafted before graduation.
I could just get my mother to have a baby. I could babysit right at home.
That's his business plan? Get his mom to have a baby?
Between the short actually being pretty compelling and how great the riffs are throughout, I can't give this anything less than a 5 out of 5.
Nice of you to join us, Matt.
Sorry.
Hey, kid, if you're going to be a father, get used to sarcasm from women.
Number 254, The Snob, from October 20th, 2015.
I sometimes feel like I'm on the outside looking in.
Oh, me too. Maybe that's why we're friends.
No.
Social groups and making friends. I think most of us either have been socially awkward or know someone who is. And let's be honest, you're watching a 30-plus minute review of RiffTrax shorts on a tiny niche YouTube channel run by a homeschooled, unmarried virgin 28-year-old. You, along with myself, have definitely been the odd duck before. Now in this short, we meet Sarah, who wants to study, and seems to have no interest in the teeny bopper party next door. Her mother tells her the parties are open houses, and no one's formally invited, but Sarah insists she doesn't want the company of slackers. Across the way, Ron, whose family hosts the parties, discusses with his mom. From the perspective of the other kids, Sarah pushes them away and snubs them, not wanting to be treated the same, but even better than everybody else. We see these worldviews clash at school when a couple of girls try to compliment Sarah, she seemingly ignores them, and all three of them feel slighted by the miscommunication. While it may seem sad for Sarah at first, she really does seem to actually think she's better than everyone else. When Bill, a popular student, gets his design picked for the yearbook instead of hers, she hates him personally for a decision he literally didn't even make. So it's hard to feel sorry for her.
Post-war punks.
Why does a 30-year-old have algebra homework?
Sarah.
You're fired.
Sarah, your father and I appreciate the fact that you take your schoolwork seriously.
But we're taking the family in another direction.
Couldn't you imagine? You could go out on Friday night or have somebody in.
Like them?
Those algebra haters.
A good time is all I mean. But I found out that those Friday night get-togethers are open houses. You could go.
I know I could if I wanted to.
God, it's like Tennessee Williams.
I don't. I think you should. Your friends are certainly a nice bunch, Ron.
Yeah, they're the greatest.
Do you suppose they'd like to help you do something really nice?
No. Do I have to?
You could invite Sarah over here next Friday to join us.
Ask Sarah to come over here. Well, gee whiz, why?
Language.
Don't you want her to come?
Nobody needed to be asked, but Sarah never came.
Right.
She's too high hat for that.
Okay.
She wants a special invitation, and if she gets
Okay.
it, it'll be just
It's
one
fine.
more reason for her to think she's better than anybody
Okay,
else.
okay. My God, she's powerful.
She may cut me dead. She does lots of other people. And I don't think she cares at all.
Oh my God, she's terrorizing this community.
That's an awfully pretty sweater, Sarah.
It looks just like ours.
Well, don't speak. Hear nobody, see nobody, talk to nobody. Sarah, no wonder she had any fans.
You know, as soon as this town gets Sarah on track, they can tackle the booming meth problem.
Yes, first things first.
And Master makes secretary.
I suppose you don't think Bill's the best man for the job?
Sadly, female student suffragette was still years away for this high school.
And to prove my initial instincts right, Sarah turns out to actually be a pretty terrible, selfish person. Her father tries to get her to open up to him while they're washing dishes, and she's super bitter about the other students, just because even though they don't like to study, they still pass the classes, which she swears she's smarter and better than them, and insists they only pass classes by being kiss-ups, which we see absolutely no evidence for. Her father points out that all the other kids seem happier than her, and they definitely do, because they don't seem to hold unnecessary hatred toward other random students in their hearts. Since her mom wants her to, Sarah does show up to the next party, but sits to the side, frigid and frowning, not even just simply reading in the corner or petting the dog like most socially anxious people. That I would understand, but no, she sits and stews in her own cesspool of angst. Bill comes up to her and happily asks if she'd like to dance, And I'm already giving the guy points for talking to the girl sitting alone with a fun and non-threatening vibe. She refuses, and he asks if she'd like to sit and talk instead, and I'm already ready to put a ring on it. Despite him being very kind, she roughly brushes him off and makes it personal, and he even apologizes. Another classmate confronts her for her rude behavior, and she goes off and cries, and Ron even follows her to try to see what's wrong. And again, I'm sorry, but as a former social outcast who's developed literal self-hatred issues from it, I just can't sympathize with someone who claims to be an outcast when they're so outwardly and unjustifiably mean.
Care to cry on my shoulder?
Daddy, there's nothing to cry about.
Not one little thing?
Like menstruation?
There are lots of little things we could talk about.
Do you like keychains?
You'll think I'm silly.
I want to dress up like an animal mascot and attend conventions where others do the same.
Somebody spoke to me.
It was the first time I'd heard a human voice.
I didn't hear what she said, but she looked at me as if she just hated me.
Just like you and Mom.
I worked just hours and hours on design for the yearbook cover.
And I'm not even in high school.
Bill Tyler handed in just a blotchy sketch. I couldn't see anything to it.
She even flunked the Rorschach test.
Poor
His
thing.
design is going to be on the yearbook cover. All the kids that get by on apple polishing will be there too, and I don't like them.
Pumpkin.
Is there any ice cream left?
All these people you don't like. Aren't they happier than you are?
Oh, come on. What has happiness done for anybody? Well, it's nice to see she's finally loosening up.
He'll get no playing up from me.
Jeez, wait till they take out Cards Against Humanity.
No kidding. You know she brought her algebra homework and just dying to get at it.
Hey, how about it? You want to dance?
I'd rather not.
Well, you want to sit and talk then?
I'd rather not. Not with you.
Well, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you mad.
Good day, milady.
You really froze him out, didn't you?
I don't know what business it is of yours if I don't want to dance.
Well, I think you did want to dance. You wanted to dance, all right, but you just couldn't pass up the chance to be a snob.
Oh, wow.
Oh, Ron, they're so mean and hateful. They don't understand anybody who isn't one of their gang and doesn't do all the silly things they do.
Only this tree understands me.
Can a friend like Ron help her in any way?
By looking concerned?
Well, Sarah may hate her classmates. I don't hate this riff, and it gets a 4.5 out of 5.
I guess I can ask her to honor us with her presence.
You know, Mary Jo, the great thing about being an adult is you can exclude those you don't like.
Agreed.
You can just do it.
Number 255, Halloween Party from October 27th, 2015.
Dad hopes to top last year's pumpkin that just said whites only.
And our final and shortest short of this episode is actually brought to us from the RiffTrax live show of Anaconda from back in 2014. After a brief intro from Mike, Kevin, and Bill, the narrator gives us a peek into the lives of a family of parents, brother, sister, and dog preparing for Halloween. Once he's done terrorizing his children at the windows, Father brings in all their materials to make jack-o'-lanterns for the holiday. And Brother Peter shows off the mask that goes to his Halloween costume for the big contest at school tomorrow. And the dog Shep looks like he's ready to eat Peter's head in one bite. But the family ignores their pet's intensity that clearly needs professional training and just go about finishing their decorations.
It's a delightful Halloween drama involving a happy yet disturbed family. I want you to notice, and also a savage dog. So without any further ado, let us please roll Halloween Party!
Halloween Party!
It is night. It for Halloween makes noise. But there is a tap at the window.
All information before tap at window omitted for clarity.
No one there. Surprise, surprise. It is Father with pumpkins, Indian corn, and straw. Everything we need for Halloween decoration.
Father's been breaking into the neighbor's barn again.
Julie wants to know what the... And now Father is back and we are all together. Uh-oh, what is Peter up to?
Oh, Peter, we begged you to take your medications.
He is trying to scare Shep with his cat mask. And Shep doesn't like to be teased. I'm sure Peter wouldn't like someone to tease him.
Oh, you'd be surprised what Peter's into.
Father has the pump out. Sad.
Father comments on his own life.
Sorry.
Now.
Linus watches in horror as his god burns in the window.
Thanks to them ignoring their dog's problems, Shep's anger and spite toward Halloween grows and grows all night long, with the carved pumpkin in the window seemingly taunting him for hours. The next morning, when all the family's out of the house, Shep decides to take his anger as fuel for destruction, and rips up the paper bag mask that Peter was going to wear to school's Halloween party after lunch. Peter's absolutely devastated, and since they apparently don't have a spare paper bag and Sharpie in the house, Mother decides to improvise to make Peter a new costume just in time. A straw hat, some makeup, and a colorful shawl, and can you guess what Peter is? If not, just wait a sec. I'm not spoiling it, I'll let the short itself tell you.
Lights on. Everybody laughs at Shep. But now
It's only a matter of time before our dog mauls a child.
But there is Peter's cat.
Join me, Shep, in my whiskered army of darkness.
Feed Shep with that. And so Shep tears the scary mask apart.
Saving Peter years of beatings and wedgies.
There's the outside door. There's no time to make a new one because the costume parade is right after lunch.
We can't spare 7 seconds to draw a face on a bag.
But Moose Shep, you're such a bad dog. Now Peter won't have a chance to win the prize for the best costume.
Huh? Best costume? Lady, it was a bag. I did the kid a favor.
Now the Mexican hat.
Or as the Mexicans call it, a Mexican hat.
Quickly now, only half an hour left.
Didn't this kid bully Ralphie in A Christmas Story?
Got Farkas.
And last, the straw hat. A lady scarecrow.
Lady Scarecrow? Is that a thing?
Mom just made it up to increase Peter's humiliation.
Mother, Julie, and Shep watching. Everyone blows up a balloon.
And tries to figure out what makes a lady scarecrow different from any other scarecrow.
This live show entry is short and sweet, and it earns a 5 out of 5.
But Peter's lady scarecrow is the best. It is so funny and so different.
So inexplicable and unnecessary.
Hooray! A box of balloons.
Thank you all so much for watching, and as usual, huge thanks to all my glorious Patreon supporters, including Kevin Nata and Isabella Summit. We had quite a strong bunch of shorts in this episode, and we're getting into an awesome groove of both our traditional riffing gentlemen, as well as our lovely riffing ladies. I love that both groups give us unique jokes and vibes. It really showcases all that riffing can be. I hope you really enjoyed this episode. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you did, because it really helps me out. I also have a Twitch, Discord, and second YouTube channel I'll link below if you'd like to see more of me. Thanks again, and I'll see you guys later.
It's time for RiffTrax.